Chapter 8 The Blessed Could Fall. At this point, everyone knows the view of the ironic beings. No one confides in the results of their own error. Who has the latest beings? Who's to say that someone else could take control of the manipulative concepts? Cash? Check? It might not be funny at all. The small corners that few can see are close to the people who know the trends of the immediate sea. The small falsifications of your standard calculus class are just enough to catch the opinions of most elders. Everyone needs naked legs and a safe, warm place to keep them. Grammar is young, very young. Grammar has its own stipulations. We always resort to the fact that most organisms feel safe. It's similar to your favorite holiday. That is where humanity needs to think more logically. People know things that are genetically sufficient. Do we see things as a substantial bowl? Probably not. If the standard organism simply walks up to a convenience store, what will naturally happen? One would have to play chess softly. Where will the island remain? Is there a crown? Is a brown strip enough to prove that the jealousy of an immigrant is the complete observation of a piece of poop? Poop is a start. Things should be linked together. Words are made of letters. Think about the possibilities of this sad dilemma. There are plastic features of the unsolved mind, but the unfortunate reality of the skunk family is wrecked. Too many people have power that was given to them by society. Too much knowledge, too much hope for the future. Nathan and Natalie wake up at around noon to a bright sunrise. It wasn't really sunrise. They were just still extremely high. Natalie turns around to realize that Nathan has a huge erection. "What the fuck, Nathan?" she exclaims. Nathan looks down at his crotch to realize that he has an erect phallus. It was raging. It was rock hard. He had no control. It was taking over his life. This had been a problem for Nathan for a very long time. Awkward boner syndrome was something he has struggled with for many years. This hasn't happened for a while, but due to them being on the road, he hasn't been able to attend his dyserectile therapy sessions. He explains his problem to Natalie. He tells her that he has a problem with being very horny and he can't keep his member down for more than an hour. He says, "Natalie, I have a problem with being very horny and I can't keep my member down for more than 1 hour." Nathan and Natalie pack up their belongings and start heading down the road. An hour goes by. Natalie says, "Hey, I'm getting really tired. I feel like we should try to hitch a ride." Nathan agrees. They put their thumbs out trying to get a free ride. This lasts for 2 hours. No luck. Nathan has an idea. He says to Natalie, "Maybe you should pull your boobies out. It would probably help us get a ride." Natalie instantly pulls her pants down and spreads her ass cheeks apart. A random Toyota instantly pulls over. A funny sounding voice from the vehicle exclaims, "Y'all need a ride?" The man in the car looked like he had been drinking for a week straight. Nathan replies, "Yeah, that would be great." Nathan and Natalie both get into the car. They buckle up and introduce themselves. They thank the man for the ride. "Where are y'all headed?" he asks. Natalie replies, "We're going to Baltimore, actually. We have some things to pick up." The driver's breath smells like rotten eggs, and Nathan realizes this instantly. He soon finds out that this is going to be a very long drive. An hour of dead silence goes by on the road. Mikey, the driver, suddenly says, "So, that's a mighty fine pooper you got there." "Thanks," says Natalie. "No problem," replies Mikey. "So, you guys like xylophones?" Nathan replies, "Yeah, actually. I play pretty often myself. I have an all-mahogany marimba at my house." Very cool, bud. What kind of styles do you like to play? I mostly play Chumbawamba covers, Nathan replies. I also used to play French horn in high school, and I was actually really frickin' good. But I decided that pursuing a career in xylophone was a better idea. That's super duper, bud. I've always had a soft spot for xylophones. I don't play it all, and never will. I just collect them. I have 16 of them in my apartment. I clean them all every single day. I'm getting one shipped in from Florida in a week, too. I'm trying to figure out what to name it. My mama usually helps me think of names while we drink Sprite together at my apartment. Nathan becomes a little confused. Oh, nice, man. That sounds like a pretty cool hobby. It is, he replies. We sit in my living room, think of cute names for my new babies, drink Sprite, eat fruit snacks, and finally she gives me a kiss on the cheek before she goes back home down the street. Oh, cool, replies Nathan. So, do you have like a girlfriend or anything? Mikey answers, No, I'm single for now. Nathan hesitantly asks him, You porking anybody? No, I'm not. Can I ask, how many girls have you been with? A lot, Mikey replies. Anyway, are you too hungry? There's a really nice diner a few blocks up called Carlton and Chubb's. Y'all ever been? Natalie finally chimes the fuck in. Oh my God, yes. I am starving. She has the munchies. She was burning grass the entire car ride. We need to go there now. I am so hungry. Mikey pulls up to the diner. They all walk in and sit down. The waitress approaches. Her name is Tracy. She greets them with a generous smile and 3 waters. She asks, Can I get y'all anything to drink besides water? They say no thanks and tell her they just need a few minutes to look over the menu. As soon as Tracy walks away, Nathan chugs his entire water, pulls out a handle of Mr. Boston's vodka, and fills his glass to the brim. A couple minutes later, Tracy comes back and asks, Y'all ready? They tell her yes, and that they're starving. Ladies first, she says. Natalie orders, I'll take the large fried chicken Caesar salad, please. Okay, and you, hun? Tracy looks over at Mikey. You know what? I'm going to stick with my regular, the beef stroganoff. Tracy then looks at Nathan. And what about you, hun? Nathan looks at the menu for another 30 seconds and finally replies, I would like the double beef patty melt with extra onions and cheese. I'd also like 2 orders of the deep fried mushrooms, each with a side of blue cheese and honey mustard. I also want the chicken cutlet with extra gravy, with 2 sides of green beans. Also, I'll take the spaghetti basket, please. And that'll be it. Tracy takes their menus and says, All right, y'all. Should be ready in about 5 minutes. Nathan randomly starts getting a boner again, but tries his hardest to fight it off mentally. Surprisingly, it goes away. They carry on with discussion as they wait for their yummy grub. Natalie asks Mikey, So, why exactly did you stop and pick us up? That was very nice of you. Well, Mikey replies, I felt bad that you 2 were out walking. I assumed you were traveling far. That's so nice of you, Natalie replies. And also, I realized how mighty fine your pooper looked. Nathan almost lashed out, but bit his tongue. He stood up and clenched both of his fists. I have to go to the restroom, he announces. He goes to the men's room, tries his hardest to regain his boner, and rubs one out to relieve the stress of Mikey's pervy comment. Nathan then cleans up his cummy mess with a long strip of toilet paper. He goes to dispose of it in the toilet and realizes that the toilet is full of shit, piss, and dried up toilet paper. Being considerate, he tries to flush it down before he disposes of his cummy mess. It won't flush. It's way too clogged. He looks at the trash can, but it's overflowing with trash. He simply decides to put his cummy toilet paper wad in his pocket. Nathan gets back to the table, and the food is all laid out. He sits down, excited to finally eat. He takes 2 bites of his melt when Mikey starts sneezing profusely. "You okay, Mikey?" Nathan asks. "No," he replies. "Either my allergies are acting up or I'm getting sick." He cannot stop sneezing. Nathan looks around the table for napkins to give Mikey while Natalie is stuffing her face with fried chicken. "Can someone get me a tissue, please?" Mikey is miserable. In a panic, Nathan takes the toilet paper out of his pocket and hands it to Mikey. He grabs it desperately and starts blowing his nose violently. He stops. "What the fuck?" asks Mikey. "Why does this smell like cum?" Nathan replies, "I'm sorry, man. That's my cum. That's all I had, though. I didn't know what else to do." Mikey stands up. "I can't believe this shit. Why is it that every time I pick up a stranger, I end up with cum on my face?" Nathan replies to Mikey, I'm sorry. Mikey yells. "No, I don't care. Fuck you, Nathan. Fuck you, Tracy. Natalie, you have a nice balloon knot, but fuck you too." Mikey storms off in anger. He gets in his car and peels out quickly, leaving Nathan and Natalie stranded at the diner. An hour goes by. Nathan and Natalie are still sitting at the table, trying to figure out what to do next. Natalie turns her head and looks outside. She stares at the sunset in frustration. Nathan offers her a full 16-ounce glass of vodka. Natalie says, "No, I'm good. Maybe later." "Okay, cool," says Nathan. He instantly chugs the entire pint of vodka. Suddenly, Nathan sees their car pass by. He's stunned. He can't tell if it's their car or if he's just hallucinating due to the severe alcohol poisoning to his brain. They realize that it's actually their car. Natalie says, "Holy shit, that's our car." Nathan calls Tracy over. He asks, "What does that road lead to? We need to follow that car." Tracy replies, "Nothing important, actually. It's probably headed down the road about a mile to the next town." They think for a moment. Natalie asks, "What do you think is the best way of getting there?" Tracy thinks for a second, looks at both of them and smiles. "Matter of fact, I'm off in 15 minutes, and I have to drive there right after. You see, my boyfriend goes on tour with his band, Trapped, tomorrow. I just want to make him dinner one last night before he takes off. Want me to give y'all a lift?" Nathan is too inebriated to answer or even comprehend anything that is going on. He is fucked. Natalie is interested, though. She asks, "You got any Fritos in the car?" "I sure do," answers Tracy. "Well," says Natalie, "we've got a fucking deal. You got Fritos on deck? I'm stoked. This is sick. I love Fritos. I used to steal them from Kroger every week because they're my favorite." Tracy answers, "That's great, hun. Hey, y'all meet me out back in 15, all right?" She walks away to bust her last fucking table. Natalie walks to the men's restroom where Nathan is, passed out on the floor. This is almost as bad as when he drank too much Guinness and Jim Beam at Q Bar. She walks in and instantly realizes that the bathroom smells like hot shit. Nathan is passed out on the toilet, taking a huge, steamy dump. It's quite stinky. The 3 whites finally gather into Tracy's car and head to the next town. Natalie starts pounding Fritos, and then Nathan wakes up. He says, "Nat, I am going to press charges on your ass for barging into the restroom at that diner while I was trying to drop a loaf." "No, you won't," replies Natalie. "You're a huge pussy." They continue their drive to the next town to the peaceful sound of Natalie crunching Fritos and Tracy playing Trapped on her stereo.